Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. Got a nice day going on here. That's 17.2. Green light, blue skies, right? Beautiful day. What am I up to today? There's a couple of objects like floating around that have been annoying the heck out of me because they're not working, and am I keeping them or am I getting rid of them? And if you're trying to get yourself organized and you have these objects lying around that am I keeping them or am I getting rid of them, they're taking up space. And I have a tendency to keep things that I'm considering working on where I can see them, which means not only are they taking up space, but they're taking up prime real estate. The first object was the skill saw. And I happen to like this saw. It's got a good feel to it. It's made in the United States. And I like the saw, right? But I was using it, and when I got it, it had almost no miles on it. I mean, it still has the wrench, the cord isn't cut. You could see there's no wear on it. But it didn't last long. It died. Well, it turns out the brush is melted. So I went in there and I Googled, skill saw and this number, and it came back to me, what did it come, 5500 or 5520. And I'm like, that's not what I got. But then when I looked at the description, it turns out the brushes fit like almost every saw ever made by Skill. Brushes, expedited shipping, were less than $15. So I decided that I like this saw enough that I'm going to risk $15 on it. So this is one thing. Notice the old brushes are taped there. The new ones are on the way already, and hopefully I put them in and get this functioning again soon. The second thing that's in the way is this welder. This welder stopped feeding, and the wires pulled out. Took a couple of spills. So anyway, I opened it up, and it's still plugged in, so I got to watch where I put my fingers. And it turns out this plug here was almost out, not all the way out. So I pushed it in, and I think I could do this without lighting myself up. And if you listen, so I got it feeding again, or turning again. So hopefully I could bring this thing back to life. Well, I had it apart. I just wanted to show it to you. The covers come off the sides, right? So you got kind of a U. The covers bolt on the side. This thing bolts to the top. The lid bolts to the top. Obviously, you got a huge transformer in here, which is nice. Just so you guys could see. I mean, look at that secondary winding, how big that is. I don't know, what is that, 12 or 12 gauge wire right there on the secondary. So right there's your primary. So anyhow, I wanted to show you what it looks like. The fan is really El Cheapo, man. Look how crappy that fan is. I mean, and it's only well, they got a foam pad, then they got screws to it, but that fan is like horribly cheap. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few minutes into this and figure out what I'm going to do with it, whether I'm keeping it or if I'm going to pull this transformer off, because I'm thinking of running scrap. And if transformers go for a certain price, and electric motors go for a certain price, and printed circuit boards go for a certain price, and tin goes for a different price. And if you do any scrapping, if I drop this off just as it is, I don't know, what's it weigh, 40 pounds? And most of it is this transformer. Probably 35 out of the 40 is this transformer. So if I drop it off at 40 pounds at 1 or 2 cents a pound, it's worth less than $1. if I have 35 pounds of transformer at, I don't know, 30 cents a pound or something like that, call it 25 times 30, I get $7.50 for just the transformer. Okay? So it's a difference between something being worth perhaps 80 cents or something being worth $8 if you don't bother pulling that transformer out of it. So I mean, I'm kind of ballparking both figures. I really don't know what steel is going for. I think it's like, once again, 2 cents a pound. So 40 pounds times 2 cents. This is worth all of 80 cents. If I pull this out and get 25 times, call it 30 pounds, right? That's $7.50, you know. And then everything else, call it another 50 cents, though I don't see 50 cents there. Maybe the wires are worth something. I don't know if this is copper or aluminum. I'd have to slide that back, take a look. They got it pretty well covered up in here. All right, so yeah, I figured I'd show it to you. In a later video, I'll let you know if all this effort worked. I also have my Lincoln welder that I kind of got to get into. I like to do these things kind of slowly, right? And by slowly, I break into this thing first and, you know, poke around with it and hopefully fix it. And then I approach my Lincoln with a little more confidence. My Lincoln downstairs, this Lincoln's fine. My Lincoln downstairs is an AC/DC tombstone welder. I bought it new. And my theory on the Lincoln downstairs is that I have one phase and not the other, right? So instead of getting this and then that, and then you cut it off and you move this one up here with the diode, if you're doing DC, or if you're doing AC, you have this and that with the AC. I think what I have going on down here is I think I only have one phase. So I have this, and then nothing, and then this. So when I DC it, I'm getting 2 ups. If I AC it, and it didn't seem to make much difference if I AC'd it or not, I'm not getting the bottom end of it. And the reason why I think that is, you see how this weld, which is not a great weld, but it's fairly penetrated, or this guy here, better yet, really nice and penetrated. All the welds it did were caterpillars, man. The welds, they were worse than this guy here. I mean, they were all standing like you know, like my finger, right? You'd be welding, and I'd keep turning it up, but I just couldn't get it to get the welds to penetrate and set down. So that's my theory of what's wrong with it. Diagramming on the back of a Cushman or an E-Z-Go, gotta love it. So anyway, I'm playing with this one for now, and then I'll play with that one. One of the other reasons why I haven't messed with that one is it probably weighs 80 to 100 pounds, and it's on a cart, and I got to get it out from underneath the cart. Then I got to set it up on the table before I could take it apart. And honestly, I'm not looking forward to picking it up. I'm probably going to have to use the backhoe loader to do that, or this thing to lift it. Right? No use springing my back if I don't need to. Alright, that about covers it for now. Folks, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Get out in the sunshine. It's good for you. Get out and, get some vitamin D in your blood. Folks, remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and get out there and enjoy all your days. Bye now.